Welcome back to Feel Light, Mind, and Body, the podcast where we empower you to prioritize your well-being and embrace the joy of living a balanced life. I say we because you and I together will help you make the desired shift. It's not by simply listening to my voice. It's you taking an inspired action step right after. Today's hot topic is how to tell if something truly matters to you and why this is so important for your satisfaction and success. Hi, I'm Clarenda, and you are listening to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. If someone asks you what matters to you, you may have an automatic answer, or it might give you pause. That's a great thing because we all have a finite amount of time and energy, so it's essential to focus on what truly matters to us. But how do we identify these things? Here are a few general questions to get your brain thinking. 1. What brings you joy? Think about the activities, people, and experiences that make you smile or provide a sense of satisfaction. These are often indicators of what matters most to you. 2. What aligns with your values? Reflect on your core values. What principles do you live by? What beliefs guide your decisions? Activities and goals that align with your values will be more meaningful to you. I'll share more about a value assessment tool towards the end. 3. Where do you spend your time? Look at your daily routine. Where do you invest most of your time and energy? This can be a strong indicator of what you prioritize, though it's also important to recognize if these are true priorities or just habits. We develop certain habits that actually conflict with what we say our values are. For example, it's easier for us to sit comfortably on the couch, letting the next episode roll on, instead of tucking ourselves in bed at 10 o'clock, to ensure we don't miss the window for deep sleep. We might say that health is a top value, but when we look at our days, how much thought, time, money, and energy are we giving to what develops a healthy mind and body? 4. What do you miss? Consider the things you miss when they're absent from your life, whether it's a hobby, a person, or a routine. Missing something can signal its importance to you. Keep in mind that we can also miss what we're addicted to that isn't good for us, so that's good to know. This isn't a passing judgment exercise, ever. This is getting clear on what you value consciously or unconsciously. If it's part of your daily or weekly routine, you're living into that value, but probably not making this connection. It's showing up as one of your current values, even though the healthier part of you might not want it to be. It's influencing your current circumstances. Addiction to work could be impacting your relationships, sleep, or health. Addiction to sugar or alcohol will also affect your health, sleep, and more. They will affect your relationships in various ways because of this and the low energy that results from it. Addiction to people-pleasing, having that approval of others, will have us doing things that aren't aligned with our values. We're not only being dishonest with them when we say, I'd love to, but we're also being dishonest with ourselves. If you've listened to my 4 podcasts on people-pleasing, numbers 23 to 26, you understand that people-pleasing isn't the same as pleasing people. Family and close friends are a top value for me, so I am aligned when I'm helping them out, as long as it doesn't conflict with a higher value of health, because without health, I can't show up as my best self for them. Helping clients shift their thinking and activities to align with their true values is so rewarding, and that's when they get the results they want and can sustain it. I don't expect my clients to do what I haven't already done. I'm always my first client. I'm continuing to do the work with my mentor, Dr. Trivedi, whose values assessment, along with other amazing tools and strategies, I get to use with you. It was a challenging course and exam, but I invested in it and showed up for it because it aligned perfectly with two of my top 5 values of mind-body health and serving you. Question 5. What challenges are you willing to face? The challenges you're willing to endure often highlight what matters to you. If you're ready to overcome obstacles for something, it likely holds significant value in your life. A personal example is, I'm willing to go through all of the growing pains and discomfort of getting back on camera for video so I can expand my reach and connection in visual communication for my mission, which is to inspire and empower women to create their healthiest, most fulfilling lives. I've taken the first step last week by creating a Clarenda's Empowerment Coaching channel on YouTube where my podcast will also live. Are you ready to commit to something your inner critic is telling you you've already failed at too many times? Are you ready to move past the shame and blame, or maybe the indifference, so that you can get out of the state of living the same day over and over? Are you tired of being tired? If you know that deep down you really do value your health, which I believe the majority of us do, then you may realize it's time to make some new decisions and have your own back, because no one else is going to do it for you. We can't separate our mind and body connection. So I have to also touch on listening to your body. Tuning into your body's responses, or you may hear it referred to as somatic responses, is another powerful way to understand if something matters to you. Our bodies often communicate what our minds might overlook. Here are some tips for recognizing somatic responses that indicate a yes or no, and these are not all inclusive. Number 1, positive somatic responses, the yeses. Relaxation. Notice if your muscles relax when you think about the activity or decision. A sense of ease often signals a positive alignment. Another positive somatic response is warmth. Feelings of warmth in your chest or a gentle tingling sensation can indicate excitement and alignment with your values. Energy. An increase in energy or a feeling of lightness can suggest that this is something you're enthusiastic about. Leaning in. You might sense or notice that you sit up a little taller and lean forward. I can hear my dad laughing as I say this. He used to say, "Well, that certainly perked up your ears." The memory that just flashed before me is when he would say, "Do you kids want to hop on the back of the truck to go pick apples?" That was an adventure that mattered to me. I know I'm dating myself because I believe that's illegal now to be riding on the back of the truck. But oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Next is the negative somatic responses, the no's. Tension. Pay attention to any tension in your body, such as a tight neck or shoulders or a clenched jaw. These signs can indicate discomfort or misalignment. Maybe for you, the tension is in your hips and lower back. Coldness. You may experience a feeling of coldness or a sinking sensation in your stomach. This can be a warning sign that something is not right for you. This isn't always the case because getting out of your comfort zone and facing a fear can also present with stomach sensations, and for me, my body will literally shake at times. Sweaty palms or underarms can again be the thought of getting out of your comfort zone. Your body's survival response can't distinguish that fear from the fear of being hunted by a predator. Understanding all of this is very empowering because it will give you more autonomy. Fatigue. A sudden drop in energy or a feeling of heaviness can suggest that the activity or decision may not be in your best interest. Surface conversations. The small talk at parties leave me feeling drained, but I could feel tired and get an invite from a friend that I know will have a connected, meaningful conversation, and I suddenly feel a renewed energy. So, if you're listening to this on the day it airs, just picture me at the 100 Women Who Care charity event tonight. I'll either be diving below the surface and small talk with a few different people, or doing the normal chit-chat and going home drained. But either way, I know how to recharge. I am excited to see which charity will win. If you're local and become a member, you probably still can, you get to vote for the charity of your choice. It's $100 each quarter for the year. So many worthy charities that no matter who wins, knowing they'll receive 100% of the donations, which will be 10,000 plus, is heartwarming. If you're there, please say hi, and maybe we can have a meaningful conversation. And should I tell you who I nominated? I have a feeling they won't win, as they did last year, for I believe the first time. But as a nurse for 21 years, and hearing now about the increasing understaffing conditions and patient needs from my previous colleagues, I just had to put my vote there. So, you guessed it, the Chalmers Foundation. Sometimes we have a neutral response. Your body might not give a clear signal. In such cases, it can be helpful to ask the question differently or take a break and revisit the decision later, allowing more time for clarity. Understanding what matters to you isn't just about self-awareness. It's also about creating a life that reflects your true desires and aspirations. Here's why this is crucial. When you focus on what matters, you experience deeper fulfillment and satisfaction. Your actions and choices align with your true self, leading to a more meaningful and interesting life. Another reason why is it improves mental and physical health. Knowing and pursuing what matters to you can reduce stress and anxiety. You're less likely to feel overwhelmed when your life aligns with your values and passions. You're less likely to quit when it gets hard. Instead, you'll find a way to make it happen, and your health and energy will thank you for it. Better decision-making is another reason. Clarity about what matters helps in making decisions that are right for you. It acts as a compass, guiding you through life's choices with confidence and purpose. Increased inspiration. When you're connected to what truly matters, when you're living in alignment with your values, you'll feel inspired. This is different from motivation, but I'll talk about that in an upcoming podcast. So keep listening each week to learn this important distinction. When you're clear on what matters, you're driven by passion and purpose rather than external pressures, expectations, or obligations. And the last one we'll talk about is stronger relationships. Surrounding yourself with people and activities that resonate with your values strengthens your relationships. You're more authentic and connected, leading to deeper, more meaningful interactions. And the quality of your relationships with others will be determined by the relationship you have with yourself. When you feel confident, taken care of, and at peace within, you will have more to share with others from an overflowing cup. So let's look at some practical steps to align your life. Now that we've discussed how to identify what matters and why it's important, let's talk about some practical steps to align your life with these priorities. Set clear goals. Define what you want to achieve based on what matters to you. Set specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART goals. Cross-check them with your values. Don't set an unreasonable goal because your friend does or because your spouse thinks you should. Another step is to invest in hiring a coach, one that can help your body and your mind, one who can guide, teach, and support you to integrate it all beautifully and sustainably. Schedule your priorities. Make time for what matters by scheduling it into your daily or weekly routine. Treat these activities as non-negotiable appointments. If you don't schedule it and practice following through, you'll continue to stay in your misery. Be kind and realistic, yet challenge yourself if you want to get a new result. If you want to enhance the quality of your thinking, emotions, and how you feel physically, then that will take effort. Anything worth doing takes effort. Even being still takes practice, right? If your romance has gone stale or your relationship is now sideways, schedule quality time alone and be willing to go first in being vulnerable and asking them what they would love to feel or have that's different from what it is now. Just start. No matter what your priority goal is, let go of perfectionism and aim for quality and consistency. You get to set the standard. Practice saying no. Protect your time and energy by learning to say no to activities and commitments that don't align with your priorities. If you notice yourself getting disgruntled or feeling off, it could be because you're not living into your optimal values. What you're valuing more is giving in and living according to someone else's values. That gets old pretty fast and leads to resentment. And reflect regularly. Take time to reflect on your life and reassess your priorities. Are you still aligned with what matters to you? Adjust as needed. How you spend your time, money, and energy is your telltale sign of why your life is what it is right now. Our now is an accumulation of our past decisions. We can't literally change it, but we can tell the story we're taking forward with us differently. But that's a whole other topic. The empowering fact is, what you choose to do now will determine how you experience life in the future. We get to create what we can for our future. Are there some extrinsic influences we can't control? Yes, but let's focus on what we can control, one choice at a time. Remember, your well-being and happiness are rooted in living a life that reflects your true priorities. Take the time to identify what matters, listen to your body's responses, and make intentional choices to align your life with these values. I've had many mentors in my coaching training and years of practicing. I believe in investing for continual growth and adding value to you, my listeners, and my clients. As I level up, I can help you expand and feel better and more empowered in your mind and body. Some of you may have done my original values training, but I now have an even more powerful and integrated one. When Dr. Trivedi said one of the modules was on determining your values and increasing your awareness of your current identity, I decided to approach this with a beginner's mind, and I'm so glad I did. This process has added an integration step that was missing in the other values assessment tool. It's like this ties a bow on the gift you give yourself. Here's the thing. When what you do and how you show up isn't aligned with your true values, you feel uninspired. You feel like you're on the hamster wheel of life. You're going through the motions every day, feeling the same as yesterday. You say you're going to do something, but you fall back into the same pattern as last week. The part of your brain that loves to stay in its low-risk comfort zone, expending as little energy as possible, will offer you thoughts like, it doesn't really matter. It won't last. I'm too tired. Maybe later. That will take too much effort. I don't have time. All this one won't matter. I'll start Monday. And the list is endless. When you feel uninspired, you suffer emotionally and mentally. Your health suffers, your relationships suffer, and quite possibly your potential at your day job or life's work suffers. Maybe you're similar to me and do your best by having someone walk you through the process. I know I'm great at buying a book or downloading a free resource, but too often I don't follow through because I don't have the accountability in place to help me follow through on my commitment. When I have someone waiting for me to show up on Zoom or I have paid a significant price for it, guess what? I show up and successfully complete what I was drawn to. I move things around and say no to requests and invites to stick to my commitment as much as possible. I get real-time feedback and a different perspective from someone trained to do just that. So for you, instead of wondering if what you're thinking are your values are actually your true values, consider prioritizing this foundational tool that you'll come back to over and over again as you finally feel real inspiration, not just motivation. It's a tool that we should do in every season of life, as our priorities will shift to match what is happening around us at times. It's important that we're not judging ourselves for when that happens. Instead, we can make an empowered decision and feel peace about it. We can feel confident that we're going to come back and reassess it within a couple of months and get back on track to maybe what is our true values. If you'd like to explore what it would look like to work together on this, let's start with a complimentary 20-minute call to see if this or something else is the best match for you. You've nothing to lose. It's a pressure-free, heart-centered conversation that will leave you feeling better than when you came to the call. Again, why does this matter? When you are living a life that matches your values, you'll feel and be more balanced. When we are healthy and grounded, we'll be in flow, my friend. Yes, we'll have obstacles, but we'll be able to strategize and prioritize so much easier when we consider our true values. Life is rough when we're living in a way that leaves us feeling dissatisfied, numb, bored, or like we're just going through the motions. Remind yourself this week that your well-being and happiness are rooted in living a life that reflects your true priorities. Take the time to identify what matters, listen to your body's responses, and make intentional choices to align your life with these values. Make it a great week. Thank you for listening, and until next time. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women, and that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.